Hi! Within this lecture, we're going to see how to use the fake image exploiter that we have installed previously. So I'm going to cd into that folder and I'm going to run ls to see the contents. As you can see, we have this sh file, this is the main file, and before we run that, we have this settings file to set up. So I'm going to run livepad settings in order to open this with a notepad. And we're going to adjust the settings from here. As you can see, first we have to choose the file type. So best way to do that is to go to downloads folder. Okay, previously we have downloaded an image, as you might remember, and as you can see, our image has the extension of JPEG. So I'm going to keep this as JPEG and move to the other one. So here we have the payload extension, and as you might remember, our payloads, our backdoors, has in fact the extension of exe. So I'm not going to change that as well, and I'm going to leave it as exe. And in here we have a bypass setting that you need to leave as no, but if it doesn't work for you, if you get an error after you execute that sh file, then you should come back here and change it to yes and try one more time. And after the bypass, we have the Apache web root. Okay, so this is where it's going to be stored. So as you might remember, our Apache server actually uses this folder, var w.html. So this is good for us as well, and I'm going to just keep it in this form again. And I believe we are now done here. So let me try to scroll down. Yeah, everything seems to be fine. I'm going to save this. Actually, we didn't change anything, so I'm just gonna close this down, and then later on I'm gonna say bash fake image exploiter.sh, and it will run the fake image exploiter for me. If you have changed your settings, then you should save it and then run this file in the same way as I did. So if you get an error in this case, then you should go back and do the bypass thing as I said before. So here it says execute framework, and I will say yes, and it will ask me to choose the payload. So this will be the payload, this will be the backdoor that we have created. And remember, it's stored under var w.html under my Apache web root. Okay, so if this is stored anywhere else on your computer, you need to find it. Then it will ask you to choose the image to be used, okay, and it will combine these two together. So it's under my downloads and I have chosen it. And then later on, if you have an icon file, you should choose it from here, but right now we don't have any icons. I will later show you how to get one, don't worry. So I'm just going to go with black icon. And finally, I need a payload final name. I'm going to name this test1. So it will create my new backdoor for me. Actually, it will just combine the backdoor with my JPEG file and create a new file out of this. So it will take a while, and then later on it will ask me my lhost. And as you might remember, our lhost is the local host, our local IP address. So this is 10.02.15 in our case. And the port is 8080, and as you can see, it asks us to choose the payload. So our payload is Windows Meterpreter reverse HTTP. It even starts a handler for us. Okay, so in the previous section we did it with Metasploit framework, right? We have used multi-handler inside of Metasploit, and this fake image exploiter has its own multi-handler, and it just starts this for you. So if you go to your Apache web root right now, you will see your newly created backdoor file. So right now I have this test.zip file in here, and it's automatically zipped for you. And if I go to my Windows virtual machine, then I can try to reach my Apache server. And if you're not running Apache server, of course you need to run service Apache to start first, but mine is already running, so I'm going to just download my file from my website. And this is finished downloading. I'm going to unzip this. If you don't have any WinRAR or WinZip on your Windows machine, then of course you can Google and install it, but I have one, and as you can see, now I have my test1 jpeg.exe file. So if I double click on it, it will open this exe file and it will display the image for me. So it runs the backdoor on the background, but the user will see the image itself. So if you can get user to double click on this, and if he or she doesn't get suspicious, it will run, and as you can see, you will have your MeterPeter session opened in your Kali Linux. Now you can interact with the hacked computer. I'm not gonna do that, but rather we're going to stop here, but in the next lecture we're going to make our file look like more realistic, look like more convincing to our victim user.